Good morning and welcome to another edition of Health Connection Radio. I'm your host, Jay Foster, and we are here with you on Route664.org, Mondays at 9 a.m. and then rebroadcast at 6 p.m. That's for Health Connection Radio. You also find The Road to Human Kindness about charitable giving with Les Winston, and good jazz shows with Les Haber, who has a long history of jazz radio in South Florida. You can get more information on our show at Health Connection Radio, 1-800-CHEMIST.com. After the show airs on this station, it'll be up on a podcast on our website at 1-800-CHEMIST.com. Once you get there, you can look for radio, and then you'll have a choice between podcasts and old radio shows and some videos. Podcasts will have our show recorded that we're doing 15-minute shows and 15-minute podcasts on our website, 1-800-CHEMIST.com. Here, courtesy of Body Chemistry Associates and ChemStar Formulations. Body Chemistry Associates celebrating our 41st year in South Florida. I'm a nutritional biochemist, not a medical doctor. And we have a lot of experience in doing nutritional and biochemical testing and finding out which vitamins and minerals and diet are best for you. And that sometimes helps with a lot of a myriad of different symptoms. And we'll talk about some of those as we go on. 1-800-CHEMIST is our toll-free number, 1-800-243-6478, local number 305-670-6702. And you can reach us on the web at 1-800-CHEMIST.com. So the big news, I think it was on Friday, was a release of an article in the journal Neurology. It's a medical journal. And it talked about one of the new side effects, but it was known for a while, side effects of the acid blockers. So we're talking about things like Prevacid and Nexium and Prilosec, and even the PPIs, the proton pump inhibitors that inhibit the release of acid. And sometimes they're necessary, and sometimes we can do it the natural way. We have a new formula called Acetyllo, which lowers the, it actually helps with the release of stomach acid, but it helps in the small intestine to encourage the pancreas to release baking soda, thereby neutralizing the stomach acid. And that's really the way to go if possible. Sometimes if you're on another medication that causes a release of so much stomach acid, you still need to take an acid blocker. But we've had a lot of experience with this over 41 years in South Florida, and we find that our Acetyllo formula, which is not available in any other place because we had it made up specifically for us, people stopped making the raw ingredients, and we asked a company to make it. So we have that in stock, Acetyllo, to lower acid. It doesn't really lower acid. It doesn't block acid, but it neutralizes, helps to encourage the neutralization of the stomach acid. And, you get some of the same kind of effects, releasing the effects of GERD or acid reflux. So this release of this latest information in the journal Neurology got me curious, so I went in and read the actual medical journal in Neurology, and it was released on, let's see here, it was August, I had it right here in front of me, August 9th, I believe. Yeah, August 9th in the Journal of Neurology. They're talking about these proton pump inhibitors, which was a good article. It had 50 references. And they talked about the increased risk of dementia. So I'm going to review all of the different possible side effects of these medications, the proton pump inhibitors, and the rationale behind using a natural one. And again, ours is called Acetylol. So it's amazing the number of side effects to these drugs to inhibit acid. Respiratory in the lungs, you can get a type of pneumonia. It's nosocomial pneumonia and even COVID-19. In the kidneys, it can cause acute interstitial nephritis, acute kidney injury, and chronic kidney disease if you're on these medications, which the label suggests just a couple of weeks, and some doctors keep you on it forever, and that's when the side effects really show up. In the liver, wait, you hear for this one, hepatocellular carcinoma, that's liver cancer. Musculoskeletal fractures, like hip fractures, that's from osteoporosis, and myopathy, which is a muscle disease, sore muscles or even worse. In the blood, it causes a vitamin B12 deficiency, or can cause, these proton pump inhibitors, because you need a little acid to make and release vitamin B12. So you can get a relative vitamin B12 deficiency, an iron deficiency, hypomagnesemia, low magnesium in the blood, and also a calcium deficiency just by using these proton pump inhibitors. And then certain infections can come. Clostridium difficile, difficult to get rid of, is what it came from. Non-typhoid salmonella, Campylobacter, and spontaneous bacterial peritonitis. Those are all possible because you're blocking the normal defenses against these bacteria. So those are serious enough side effects, I think. But we go on to cardiovascular stroke and myocardial infarction, that's a heart attack. And then we finally get into the central nervous system side effects, headaches, including migraines, hepatic encephalopathy, and dementia. Dementia, that's like Alzheimer's is one type of dementia. And that's where the recent article they talked about a little bit on the news in the journal Neurology on August 9th of this year, that increased risk for dementia. And it's a serious increase in risk. In fact, from the journal Neurology on August 9th, it says a total of 5,712 dementia-free participants were included in our analysis. The median, the average follow-up was 5.5 years. Again, it doesn't happen after 2 weeks. It's when they let it go on too long. 585 cases of incident dementia over the average follow-up time. So it says those who use these PPIs, the proton pump inhibitors, for greater than almost 4.5 cumulative years were at a 33% higher risk of developing dementia during the follow-up, and compared to those who were not using any of the proton pump inhibitors. 33% higher risk of dementia, and that's a huge amount. That's a third higher risk. So you have to ask yourself, and the doctor should be asking, if someone's developing dementia, why are they developing dementia? Could it be if they're on one of these PPIs, even the over-the-counter Prilosec, and the drug omeprazole, and then Nexium and Prevacid, purple pills and things like that. If they're on those, the doctor should be evaluating if it's possible that those medications are increasing the risk. Now, if there was no other way to correct it other than these medications, it may be worth it. But even baking soda or Alka-Seltzer Gold, bicarbonate solution, half a teaspoon of baking soda and a half a glass of water after meals sometimes wipes out acid reflux. So especially if a person's going to the drugstore to get a bottle of over-the-counter Prilosec, if they just used a little bit of baking soda and water, or ordered Alka-Seltzer Gold, which you have to get from Amazon, and then there's another one over the counter, has a little sugar in it, so I'm not thrilled with that one, but it's a little packet of an antacid, and you can check with the pharmacist at Walgreens or CVS and see if they carry that. But the bottom line is that those are not dangerous. Taking a little baking soda in water, a half teaspoon of baking soda and a half a glass of water, and you stir it up and drink it. If you're starting to feel a little acid reflux, that should take care of it. If it's just a mild case, and if that saves you from taking an over-the-counter or a medication for the acid block, then that's wonderful, because the cumulative side effects of taking the acid blockers or acid reducers or the proton pump inhibitors over a long period of time. And then, you see on the label, which protects the pharmaceutical companies that's making them, well, it's only 2 weeks, but the drug salesmen come out and tell the doctor, yeah, even though it says 2 weeks, you can keep on it for the rest of their lives. And I've had clients of ours who said their doctor said just that. Oh, you can take it for the rest of your life, no problem. Well, there's a problem. And this paper from the journal Neurology lists some of the problems in taking these medications long term. And this a good article in the medical journal Neurology. This isn't from a hippie health food store journal. It's a journal of neurology. It's neurology. And most neurologists read it, and maybe medical doctors don't. But it has 50 references of other peer-reviewed scientific journals. And that's a good study. They talk about kidney disease. It says, since 1992, case reports have linked PPI use, which is the proton pump inhibitor, with acute kidney injury, and recently 2 studies connected PPI use with an excessive risk of chronic kidney disease. And that's starting to pop up pretty frequently, and maybe it's other medications also, but certainly with the PPIs. And then the thing that gets me about all these different infections that you can pick up, and that's because the acid itself provides some kind of protection in the stomach, provides some kind of protection against certain infections, and then also respiratory infections. Gastrointestinal malignancies are possible with these drugs, and liver disease with the PPIs. So they're not innocuous. They're not just borderline. Some of these are real serious conditions. And so it behooves one to double check, because your physician probably is not going to do it. And again, I'm not a medical doctor. I can't tell you to start or stop any medications. But if the medications are causing an increased risk for bone fractures, for cardiovascular disease, and most recently, dementia, then we have to look at that and see. And I'll tell you that since we've had our Acetyllo formula and been giving it to our clients, sometimes just one a day at breakfast, almost like a purple pill, wipes it out for the whole day. Or some people need to take 2 per meal to get it straight for a while, and then drop down after that. So the bottom line is there are natural formulas to fight acid reflux, and many people can get off or put off the need for these acid blockers, the PPIs. If you'd like some more information on this, or to maybe order the Acetyllo formula at Body Chemistry Associates, give us a call, 1-800-CHEMIST, 1-800-243-6478. You can check us out on the web. The information on Acetyllo yet is not on our website because it's fairly new, but you can always call. We can send you out some information, and we send out kind of like an ad or just a brief on this Acetyllo formula, ACIDALO, Acetyllo, to lower acid reflux. You can call us at 1-800-CHEMIST, 1-800-243-6478, and on the web, 1-800-CHEMIST.com, local number 305-670-6702. This has been nutritional biochemist Jay Foster on Route664.org and Health Connection Radio at 1-800-CHEMIST.com. We'll be with you again on a future show.